Scariest thing you've experienced as a blind person? Living with my boyfriend had always been a source of comfort, at least until his two best friends moved in across the hall. I'm 24 and blind, and while our little apartment should have been a haven, it had slowly turned into a place where I never quite felt alone or safe. My boyfriend, who's 31, has been my partner for 3 years, but his friend's constant presence, often even when he wasn't home, made me feel like I was sharing my space with 3 men instead of just one. What used to be harmless visits gradually grew uncomfortable. The friends would let themselves in, sometimes without warning, and joke with me in ways that made my skin crawl. I was already uneasy with them having a key for emergencies, but as a blind woman, I relied on voices to know who was entering. When the door opened, I always had to brace myself. A few days ago, things took a turn I can't forget. My boyfriend was out for work, and as usual, the 2 friends walked right in. They started joking about how easy it would be to sexually assault me, how because of my blindness, I wouldn't know if it was them or my boyfriend. One even said that if I ended up pregnant by one of them, I'd never know, since I couldn't see the difference in a child's face. Their words left me shaken, speechless, and terrified. I tried to process what had happened, stuck between disbelieving that people could actually say such things and knowing too well how real it had been. I'd gotten used to awkward encounters from strangers, but this was entirely different. This was chilling, dangerous territory. I didn't tell my boyfriend the full truth at first. I managed to say I was uncomfortable, but how could I make him understand just how bad things were? Part of me worried he wouldn't believe me, or that it would turn into my word against his friends. Then, everything escalated. After reading stories online about people in similar situations, I realized I had to tell someone. I called my parents and explained what was going on, just in case. The next day, the 2 friends came in again. This time, they crossed an even clearer line, acting in a way that made my fear sharper than ever. I screamed. An older neighbor upstairs, my guardian angel, heard me and pulled me safely into her apartment, sitting with me as I shook and cried for hours. That was my breaking point. When my boyfriend finally got home, I told him everything. All the crude jokes, the unwanted visits, and the constant fear I felt in my own home. I saw immediately how much he regretted not listening sooner. Overwhelmed by rage, he confronted his so-called friends. Voices were raised, and it even turned physical. But in the end, he came back to me, shaken, but determined to make things right. He took leave from work, packed our things, and drove us straight to my parents' house. The relief I felt was overwhelming. We were safe, at least for now. My boyfriend and I are looking for a new place together, somewhere secure and accessible, a space where I can finally feel at home again.